Hello, this is Compound Interest Stock Guy, and in this video we're going to be talking about the markets. Just go through the commodity sections on investing.com, as well as just looking at the volumes and looking into interesting plays for next week. So stay tuned. Yeah, if you're new to the channel, don't be shy. Subscribe. There's a lot of new people coming along. Give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. Want to disclose I'm not a financial advisor. This is just for entertainment information purposes. Do not buy or sell based on anything I talk about. Buy or sell after you do your own research, due diligence, and like that investments you're pursuing. So right on. So this is just outside my house. This is the backyard. Got a very nice backyard that I'm living at for the area. And then there's a big park. So it's pretty freaking cool. Like that's the backyard, right? Like looking onto the back. So one time I lived right behind a graveyard, so I mean, nice privacy. This is the ski hill where I did that video that day, and here's my car. This was on Christmas Eve, and it was minus 17, so that was the coldest I've seen it so far this year. But yeah, I always like the car. It'll start and it'll be around like here, and then I wait for it to kind of like get closer to this zone, because you just want to warm up the car kind of, but it's usually not that cold. I mean, for the last like week it's been pretty mild. It's even been above 1, so I mean, I'm thinking right now outside is probably like -4, -5 at most cold, but I mean, we could get like -25, -30 for a short period of time, with wind chill like -30, -40 potentially. But yeah, that's I just if you want to follow me on Twitter, this is my Twitter as well, at Compound Stock 13. And yeah, I just talked that there's some people that have been messaging me, talk to them here, so you can DM me, I don't care, or reply to some of my tweets. Being kind of busy tweeting, I just talk, and then I say what's on my mind. Like, for example, I was talking earlier about how the Xena warrants, like, it makes no sense in the right mind that people would pay 5 cents. Yeah, sorry, there's some dogs that they try to be like wolves and howl, but anyways. So that like 0.5 cents warrants is basically it's really low. I mean, well, it's the point I'm making is, though, okay, you can get 3.5 times. You pay 3.5 times more for the shares, but the shares, like, they never expire. But it's also the fact, like, there's theta decay. So say like the stock price doesn't go up to 50 cents in the next like I don't know, like year, and the stock's still down there, like the theta decay is like really bad. So you're paying that for the fact that when it goes to 275, if it ever does, but if it went to 175, that's a 10 bagger. If it goes to like 350, that's like a 22 bagger pretty much. But like the intrinsic value, if it went to 350 for the warrants, are really only like 75 or like maybe 95 cents. So you're like 20 times up or whatever. But I mean, the chance that that's going to happen anytime soon, like, who knows? I don't really think it's like very likely. But so anyways, I just like post stuff, but enough about that. I just wanted to share what I've been trying to organize my YouTube page to be more like professional looking. So yeah, I got my Cannabis Wraps series. I mean, this one's, there's no wraps in it, but and tier 1 extraction companies. So these are all videos where I've talked about, labs and valens in. And these are my new series I made up, the financial report card series. So, I got anything from CISG to Sundial Growers to Yeah, I've done a few of those. Let's see what I've done. I'm pretty busy, you know. It's Meta. I did Meta, C-Web, IIPR, and GW Pharma, and CVSI, and Hexos, and True Leaves, and TGIFs. So I got that, and I've done a few collabs with Scott Sycamore, and so these videos are fairly long, and we kind of talk a lot about like the cannabis industries, and he's from Cali, so kind of get into depth on that stuff. And then this is the hottest cannabis strains, and then this is a series of like marijuana in the future. So like I got the video, marijuana will be $1 trillion industry by 2043, and you know, I talk about different things in there in that series, so it's kind of more organized, so you can kind of figure it out where it's at. And this is a budgeting and being aware of debt series. These were kind of old, like over a year old, and this was my revenue leaders. This was pretty old too, and these were my first videos when I was doing the commodity sections overview. And yeah, I mean, I like the commodities, like I was into commodities before I got into cannabis, but then in like 2016, then I was interested in the cannabis, and my first stock was ACG. And you know, but yeah, so that's my a little more organized. I mean, I'm also gonna work on trying to make the whole page better, but you know, do what I can. But yeah, so let's get into this. So this is we do from top to bottom. This is the cannabis commodities, and I have other watch lists, but you got the mass day was at a low, and Elixir and MaryMed didn't have the greatest day, had a pullback. I did the video earlier. If you want to check it out, it has a lot more details on MaryMed, Delta 9, Canopy Rivers, and True Leaf, and Chronos, and Green Thumbs, and Choom. But anyways, let's look at the top one. So Even Co had a really nice day. So we're going to look in the charts on these ones because we want to see what's kind of setting up right in Valens and those kind of stuff. But we're looking at the top ones, right? So who has the most volume? Like PNTV is kind of a sketchy play. It's like an Argentina and Nevada player. So I mean, they have a deal with the Argentina government, but they have like a lot of shares out, and they don't have that much revenue. So I don't know, like they could have like 2 billion shares out before you know it, and you know, it's like kind of pissing in the wind. Try to play those stocks. I mean, maybe it could turn around and go to like 50 cents in like 6 months. Who knows? But I wouldn't count on it. Chronos and Aurora and Hexo and Tilray. So Tilray had a pretty high volume day, and yeah, I mean, it's interesting around there with the Israel deal that they're working with. I think that would be very big for them. I didn't make any video on that, but I mean, I'm just touching on it. And Zenabis kind of went down to 17.5 cents and then came up to 18 cents. Even Co. Yeah, Even Co had a very nice day. And Village Farms, almost 700,000. MediFarm kind of pulled back. And so let's look at this. Oh, I want to also look at that Valens at the end of the day. That was a really interesting. Let's look at that first on the 1 hour chart. Yeah, so it's interesting with what happened with on another note on with the Iranian with the guy they killed. You know, that's basically like if you follow Gregory Manarino, I've talked to about his channel. His whole focus is on, you know, they push it up. The crude, like they'll have a war on stuff just to push up oil, and people get hurt, and it's all just because the SPY and the bull and the crude are all connected, right? So that, anyways, so at the end of the day, it just had to push up. So where is it? I want to look at the 1 hour. Yeah, this big candle at the end of the day was like shorts covered or something. They're like, fuck, or just big buyers just decided to buy. I don't know what it was, but just in the last couple minutes, it was like that big. Like, because if you look at it even on the 5 minute, it's like one big 5 minute chart. So that's pretty fucking crazy. Now let's look at Tilt. So Pennywise, he's a very good guy to follow on Twitter, and he's very he really likes Tilt Holdings, and I have a position in Tilt Holdings, and so they got their CSL with Jupiter, and what's it? Basically, they sell the hardware to all the companies in Canada and in USA, like CURA-LEAF and all these other companies, for their Jupiter vape pens. So they also have a dispensary and stuff. So I mean, they're at about a 99.88 million market cap, and I mean, they've been a lot higher. So when you look at the chart, so it went down. So I want to just touch on this. Like, wasn't going to do that, but I will do this, is the way that what we need to focus on in the future is when the Bollinger Bands in the bear spot or in the bullish spot. So for example, like if it's below this line, that's in the bear spot, but then when it gets above there, it's in the bull spot, right? So see, for here, it wasn't able to hit that. So when it didn't have any follow through, that is when you have to sell. Because, I mean, it's not like you have to sell, but I'm saying, though, that's the smart thing to do realistically, because it's showing that the power is on the downward side. So if it can't pull through, so it came down, and then it went up above the Bollinger Bands, and so this is the bullish spot and bullish, but now it's coming back down. As soon as it hit here, that's like showing that's in the so like, I mean, this would be the time to sell when at the top of the Bollinger Bands, of course, and then but I mean, you gotta always be sympathetic and understand where it is in the Bollinger Bands, because so like right here, you're at the top of the Bollinger Bands, and then now you get a red candle. So now you're like, oh, boom, down, and it's still in the bear part. But now today, it's in the bullish thing. So it'd be interesting to see that turn out. It's probably gonna trade in a tight range and then work itself out. But I mean, I could see it go up a lot higher. I'm not going to give out any numbers, anything like that, but I wouldn't be selling it like if it goes to 50 cents tomorrow. That's all I'm saying, on Monday. So Grow Generation kind of just traded fairly flat. So let's look at their volume. See, they don't have that many shares out, like 30 million shares out. It's a hard stock, because I was looking at buying it this week or so, but I think under $4, I think is a good price to get GRWG, unless like some negative news. IIPR, I just can't figure out their business. I had a talk with a friend about this business, and he's saying, like, what if they paid too much for these properties, and so it's not worth as much as it is, and then some of these companies go bankrupt, and then they can't get the rent money, so things like that. So Harvest is getting some momentum. It's an interesting stock. I mean, I don't know where they came up with money to get the Nevada. Like, I don't think they have that much cash, so I don't know. I haven't been studying that stock. I just kind of was like hoping that they would have like it would be like super noticeable, like some release that would say like, oh, well, they have like $400 million that they got because then I can back that company, because I'm like, yeah, this company has, like, they're in a lot of states, but it just, like, as far as their cash position, it just doesn't really tell me it's a buy. Even Co. Yeah, so there's a gap right here around 14 cents, so that is something to be worried about. But, you know, it gapped up and then it went right high. It should have been selling out like here. And I don't know if there's follow through. It could start really going up fairly good. Yeah, I mean, I think like the height is probably going to go in the next month or so would be about 40 cents, with the downside risk of about, like, go back down to about 12 to 15 cents, I'm thinking. So that's just something to think about. I do think it has a potential to get up to 25-30 cents very quickly, and that's a 25 to 50% gain. So yeah, for something to look into. There is a lot of volume. They have 1 million square feet. They have a deal with that Colio Estates, which is a winery, so they'll make some, like, women wine. And yeah, that's pretty cool. So now let's look into commodities. So North I was leading the way in the losses. Garibaldi, Tech Resources, Global Copper Miners. So a lot of these companies are fairly in the copper industry. Rio Tinto, you know, they're kind of copper. So didn't seem to have a very good day for them. Now, this is a nickel company and had a good day, even though nickel went down. So I don't know, interesting. Impala, Platinum, Caminco, Uranium, not huge move, but, you know, this thing, you know, it could really take off when certain news takes off about uranium. So I am always watching this one like a hawk. Like, I watch it every day, Caminco, because I just know that, you know, you could do some call options or something and it could make a lot of money. So I could see that stock go up a lot. Suncor Energy, not too bad. All right, let's look into the S&P 500. So these are companies I kind of watch from day to day. And yeah, so you got, I don't see, the thing is, I got to take these off because, see, I want to know what these companies are. Like, when I put them in, then I think in my head, I'm like, okay, what is the company? But then, like, I know what it is when I put down the company, of course, but then I forget what the company is. So then I'm like, what's the point of having it in here? I mean, maybe I could look it up. So maybe I won't delete this one. But I mean, I know what Bank of America is. Bank of America could be a great put option if the market starts being, like, super bearish. So I might look at that if we go through this fairly fast. Microsoft, JP Morgan, McKesson, a big distributor, and they have connection with the Rexall places in all of Canada. Abbott, I believe, is biopharma, and Goldman Sachs, big bank. Johnson & Johnson, Honeywell, not sure what Honeywell is. Target, AMD, United Health, Apple, Walmart. So in a recession, Walmart would probably be a decent stock to hold, especially for a dividend. I don't know what their dividend is, but Manulife Financial, 3M, they do lots of health, not health, but like respiratory equipment and all that stuff like that. They do like tape, and they just have all this different type of for like equipment for construction workers. Anheuser-Busch, that works with Tilray. Adobe, you know, you got Adobe on your internet. It's the Eaton. They were doing the automation for T-God. Lowe's, Procter & Gamble, Wells Fargo, Starbucks, understand Starbucks business. Pfizer, don't completely understand their business. I'm hearing a lot of great things about Facebook. Actually, I guess it's kind of Satanist, I guess, to say anything good about them, but because I do Facebook and stuff, but I mean they do take a lot of your privacy. So, Alta Gas, McDonald's. So when the stock market goes down, a lot of the times McDonald's will go up. So McDonald's is a good stock to look at. I don't know what their dividend is, but that's a good one. RBC, Lilly Diageo, big alcohol player. Philip Morris, tobacco. Boeing Planes. Novartis, big pharmaceutical. PepsiCo, Activision Blizzard. Sanofi, that's a big pharmaceutical company, not as big as Novartis, but there's a chance that, I'm not going to try to speculate like a big deal could happen, but it wouldn't surprise me if they've talked with Tilray. Pet Med Express, Central Garden, Fresh Del Monte Produce. Wow, that's gone up a bit. Let's look at Fresh Del Monte Produce. Yep. So let's look at it from the weekly. So yeah, I was actually looking at it somewhere around here. That was in September-ish. Yeah, it went up there, and yes, it's kind of come back. Now it actually looks like it's going down. See, this is a doji right here. It looks like it's going to go down. So that's just my opinion. What was the other one I was going to look at? I think that's it. Albemarle, they're lithium, big lithium player. See, the thing with lithium, okay, yeah, you do need lithium for the Tesla vehicles, but you just don't need as much as everybody was hyped up. There's a lot of other material that you need, such as stainless steel and other materials, nickel. So Vale, these are more dividend companies, Fortis, Suncor, but they can be in all different types of industries, from oil and gas to your telephone, to nickel and all different types of commodities. So these are profitable to close. TrueLeaf didn't have a very good day today. I think it's kind of stopped down. I think next week it's gonna have a lot better day. I've already looked at the charts, but I don't have the time to do that. But yes, CXXI, TrueLeaf, Alcana, Medifarm, Abacus, Village Farm. So they all had really bad days. But yeah, I see Tilt Holdings had a very good day, and Valence Growworks, and IPR and Planet 13 and Grow Generation, and 360 Risk was just pretty much flat, not a lot of volume, but yeah, they were just close to even EBITDA, minus 9,000. So low PE miners. Okay, so Encana. All right, so let's look at the commodities. I didn't do that, I don't believe. Encana. Yeah, so Encana went up a little bit today. and they are a natural gas and oil player. U.S. Steel, Tech Resources. They have smelters and lead, and they deal with pretty much every commodity. I mean, as far as a metal commodity goes, they deal with it all. So yeah. Gold. So Brent oil went up the most because, I mean, that's a demand would be more high up there in Iran, because then um it'd be like, oh, like panic and stuff of all the stuff that, oh, they're not going to be able to get oil or something. But I think it's probably overstated. Like, they did it on purpose, I think, just to bring up the crude oil for Friday. But I mean, they need to do, like, there needs to be some type of blockage in like the Strait of Hormuz or something like that, in order for oil to not be able to get to the destination, that the price, for the scarcity and the rarity, that makes it goes up a lot. So, and crude followed too, and yeah, orange juice. So gold went up for a lot today. Um, you know, 1555, that's the highest it's ever been. Palladium didn't hit 2000, but pretty interesting. Platinum was over $1,000, but it just went. I'm gonna look at the platinum chart after we go through this list. Natural gas, I guess it just hasn't been that cold this year. I mean, it's not cold here, so that's really the dictator. See, natural gas will go up when there's cold weather. So when there's not, or if it's really, really hot weather and people are using a lot of it to cool down in the summertime. So that's just how things work. The supply and demand, the weighting just goes up. It's just an equilibrium that things are always working on. So nickel went down. Not sure why nickel went down so much, but it could just be because of this is in Great Britain. So maybe the Great Britain dollar became really strong. So there's different things to look into as far as it's like, oh, it's just I mean, I do it because I only can do it from Great Britain. Like, they don't have a US USD. They have what's this? I don't know, like India or something, or it's like. So I do have to look at platinum, and I will look at platinum and then kind of just get my own opinion on what things are gonna happen in next week. Yeah, so I mean, there wasn't that much trading. I mean, I think next week coming up, realistically, there's going to be people back to their college. So I think more people are going to be trading. They're going to be back to work as well. So, uh, interesting. Yeah, so he was down as well. Maybe it's just waiting for a big. Because, see, why do I talk about nickel? Is because nickel is used heavily in wars. So if there's going to be a war, the demand for nickel will be high. So, um, yeah, so we'll look at the chart for platinum. I do think it has a lot of room to go up. So, this is a maximum back from like 10 years ago. So this was a low back down here at like $800, and then it's been as high as here, 1460, and there it goes up. I mean, I'm hoping it goes up. I'm not saying for sure. Like, it could go back down to like $900 and then come back up. But I do think long term the trend is up on platinum and 2020. But now let's look at palladium. dogs are crazy. They just can't get enough attention. Okay, so we're gonna do a maximum, all right? So if you look at it, if you go back 10 years, all right? 10 years ago, price of palladium back 10 years ago was about 450, and like platinum was like $1,500 or something, I think, back then. So it's gone up over 4 times in that time. So I mean, it's expensive, so they could just use, like, the automakers use palladium because they use it for catalytic converters as well as jewelry, and it could be used as an investment. It's been used as an investment for the last while as well, but apparently people are putting the money in the investment. The institutions are putting money into investments into platinum. So, and as well as there's people that believe that the platinum will be used more in the future so they don't have to use the palladium now that it's like 2 times more expensive. So that's something to think about. There is some companies like Ivanhoe that deal with platinum, and they could do very well based on that. And there's other, or you can just do like JM bullion. So you can go here and you can check out their bullion. Go here, like, boom, boom. I want to get a platinum coin. I want to do that. So that is platinum JM bullion. I've never used this site or anything like that. I'm just telling you, there's places online where you can invest into platinum or gold or silver or even rhodium. So as far as going into next week, I'm not really sure coming up, but I do think that a lot of the accumulation over the last couple of weeks, I think there should be some follow through. Like, I think there's going to be some momentum in certain cannabis stocks, like something like a Valence Growworks, but I do need to see it to go back into the Bollinger. Well, that's only on the 5 minute. That's not matter, but it kind of gotta follow here, run up. It's gonna be very fast when it does start to run up, and it could be a very explosive move for Valence. I started accumulating a lot of my position back around here, 307. So I had some shares back, like, I don't know, 330 sometime, but I picked up like 800 shares just recently at around here, and I see a lot further for it to go, but there could come back down to like 330 before it booms up. But there's other stocks as well, like Labs kind of lagged today. It's hard in the cannabis sector. I mean, you gotta really pick your spots. So not everything's gonna go up, but if you're picking things that have a right thesis, and if you just aren't correcting your thesis, you retract and you just go back into like a liquid position, cash, and then you get ready to get in the spot. Like, you're waiting like a hunter, and then you just be like slow as can be, and then you find your spot and you're like, boom, and then you get your spot. Or I mean, you can get a basket with the HMMJ, or you could try even the HMUS ETF. It'll say the weightings. A lot of that's like TrueLEAF and CURA-LEAF and Harv, I believe, and they have all different types. They like 1% is Tilt Holdings, so I that gives me confidence in my investments in Tilt Holdings as well. Not just because it's like, oh, someone else is owning it. It's because if they, like, most likely they're connected with the banks or whatever. So if they have like a high weighting in that, it's like they have some type of agreement with the other banks that they want to pump these stocks together with them. So that's my thinking. I'm pretty certain that that's true, but anyways, You guys have a good weekend. Keep compounding your info. Listen to my lingo. Shaka. Peace. I'm out. Yeah, it's snowing out there today. So take care.